Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today we're going to finish up this weekend special selection picks so that we can move on to next week's theme of special selection picks. I do want to put a little note in here. Technically, Liam is next for special selection, but I really needed a shorter track today, so I'm sorry, Liam. You'll be shown on this Saturday coming up, I promise. It's just that your 25-minute request was a little longer than I had time for today. My apologies. Instead, we're going to be checking out Damien Rabuyo, who was next in line. It says I should check out MergingMoon, the song Greyen. Almost seems like gibberish. MergingMoon and Greyen. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, so we got a live set. Guitar. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Really interesting mix between melody and rhythmic elements. And then this is the pre-chorus into the... Oh, maybe not. Doesn't really sound like a chorus. Dang. See, this sounds like a chorus. Got some cool background vocals going on. So I have a real soft spot for this kind of music. Those really high fries. I'm gonna try to remember to touch on those fries later.
Is my memories and the trees.
to her screams. No, man. Oh, I feel pretty dumb. I think the name might be MergingMoon. Hmm. At least that's not a made up word. Merging. uh, uh, okay, so I loved so much of this, but like I said, I have a soft spot for this kind of music. I think it's called metalcore. I teenage me listened to a lot of this. Um, it's just what was popular at the time, I guess. All my friends listened to it. So even though, kind of like not yesterday's. Well, yeah, kind of yesterday's Ice Nine Kills, where there's not a lot of technical aspects going on. It's still just a really fun song to jam out to, just for some really nice casual listening. Um, and I probably should put together some sort of short video so I don't have to continue to repeat myself here, but there's nothing wrong with casual listening. There's this really cool concept in board games where the board game community has a term called filler games. They don't necessarily have as deep or complex game mechanics. Maybe they only take 5 to 10 minutes rather than like a 60-minute, or 2 hour nice chunk of time for some of your larger board games. But they're sort of like a palate cleanser for if you're playing some larger back-to-back games. You wedge it in the middle and kind of fill the time and kind of ease up from the heavy thinking and strategizing from the bigger ones. They're also good for small time constraints. Maybe you don't have time for a 6 hour game of attack or risk or something, but you have a group of people together, got a little party going, and some people call them party games, but they're just shorter games, easier to play, easy to teach people. There's always room for more casual things and everything, music included. I don't think there's anything wrong with casually listening to casual music. Well, I don't think I said that one perfectly. There's always room for casual music, though. It's always nice to have those big symphonies or those big concept albums or those 25-minute epics. They certainly have their place, especially in the realm of analysis. But as far as casual listeners go, if you're just chilling to some music, sometimes you just want something that's heavy to bang your head to and just kind of relax to. And I think that's where these more less complex songs come in. So yeah, there's just because it's less complex, just because I don't have as much to talk about on the musical side, doesn't mean that there's it doesn't have merit. Speaking of merit, though, the showcase to me right here, that the spotlight was on the singer. Not necessarily because of the mix or anything. I actually think the mix kind of did a good job of kind of spotlighting everything. Nobody really got too much weight in the mix itself, but just because of her range. She has an almost poppy, clean style, which I love. It is perfect for those hooks in the chorus. It's perfect for catching people off guard. The first two sentences were in that clean before she went into that One of those, I don't know if she went to the growl or the fry first, but I mean, it's a good way to catch people off guard. It adds, sort of variation to what you're listening to and stuff like that. But it's a good clean, it's a solid clean, and I think it does a good job of catching people off guard for a first time listen. Which, as you guys know, I love novelty. I love being having the rugs pulled out from under me on a first time listen. So stuff like that, I love. It puts a smile on my face because I'm 30 something years old. I've heard a lot of music in my time from a lot of genres. It takes a lot to really catch me off guard. And that's not a brag or anything. I think a lot of people get that way after they've heard a lot of music, especially after they've heard a lot of music in a genre they enjoy. When you hear a brand new genre, maybe you've never listened to, technical death metal before. The first time you hear it, that's novelty. It may not be a band of novelty, but the first time you're hearing it, it's novel sounds. So for me to find novelty in something that I thought I had exhausted is always going to put a smile on my face. But I just live novelty as it is. I think it's just something that a lot of people enjoy. People like new things. I think that's just a human thing, is to like new. So yeah, this was new. It swept me off my feet, or it swept the rug out from under me. Swept me off my feet's kind of a different thing. Although I do really love the song, so maybe it works both ways. I don't know. Um, but yeah, just the singer kind of stole the whole show for me. She just, I think it's just because I wasn't expecting it, and just her growls are low. Her fries. Oh, the fry I want to talk about, the really high one. So I've only heard one other person do it on the channel, and I ended up going out and getting that CD. I think I heard them do it on the channel. I might be getting songs mixed up because I did get the CD. So I've heard everything that this singer's done, at least in the era. We checked out a while ago Deer and Gray. We checked out a song called Vinshuka. And that song actually made me go out and get the album. That was just a masterpiece of a rhapsody, just moving through tons of different concepts, and it was just phenomenal. The rest of the album, unfortunately, didn't go with that sort of proggy style, but oh, this is not this is not an album review of that. Anyways, though, this lead singer does that same kind of scream, and I think it's a whistle scream. I don't even know if that's a thing. I really should look this up. But in opera, there's a whistle note, and I don't even know how it works. I'm not a vocal coach. I don't understand vocal muscles and how to produce certain sounds, but I do know it's called a whistle tone or a whistle note, and it's usually above. Well, it's always above, I believe, your singing range. Because I don't think your vocal cords actually produce it. I think it is some sort of whistle, air moving through an enclosed space, but with your vocal flaps. I don't know. Like I said, it sounds weird. I got to look into it and double check this. I could be talking completely garbage nonsense right now. But, anyways, I think somehow this singer and the singer of Deer and Gray have found a way to compress that note. And it gets these really high, shrill, crackly fry screams, and it is haunting, to be sure. It's otherworldly in a sense. Alien is, I think, another word for it, and it always stuns me when I hear it, because it is such an unusual sound, at least for me, my ears. It's an unusual sound to hear. So I do just want to highlight that a little bit. That is my theory. I need to look into this and see, one, if that's possible, and two, if any of what I've said, my little theory here is true in any sense. But that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they're compressing a whistle note, which just sounds phenomenal. And the effect, I think it speaks for itself. like I said, I've only heard 2 people do it. Um, so yeah, crazy stuff there. That's just another reason why a lot of my attention went to her, just because, like I said, her range, but then what she was doing. Like, we've heard growlers, we've heard fryers, we've heard people with good cleans, we've heard people who've mixed all three, but rarely do we hear that fourth whistle fry, I guess we can call it. I don't want to discount any of the rest of the band, though. Even though they're not playing anything technical, one, they're putting on a show. The guitarist is also doing background or backup vocals, harmony vocals. Sometimes he's singing the lead while um, the lead singer is holding out a note, kind of blending in with the band and creating more of that atmosphere. So, I mean, he's doing a lot of work. The drummer, tearing it up. Just laying down some really clean, steady drum riffs. I gotta figure out what is a word for that. They're not drum riffs, are they? That's a guitar term. I don't know. Drum parts? That sounds boring. We need a term. We need a term that means riff for drums. Um, yeah, he's just laying down some really clean stuff. He has some solid fills in there. There's a couple of sections where he shows off some of his endurance, some double bass kicks for quite a few bars. Um, yeah, he's not really showing off, but he's definitely laying down. He's got talent. The bassist, I couldn't hear. I don't know. I didn't hear much of a bass, unfortunately. Um, Let me know if you do, though, because that might be something on my end. I don't. It was also a live performance. I don't know if that was live audio. Um, if it was live audio, though, that was audio captured straight out of the engineering station, because it does not have any of the distortion of being, recorded out of the monitors and stuff. So I don't know how the audio was done. I could not pinpoint any specific way of telling how that audio is. I mean, for all I know, it could have been the studio version overlaid on top of live footage. I don't know. But I do know that I didn't hear much of a bass. Now, I don't know why, but it wasn't that present to me. But yeah, so I really dig this. Oh, and they also incorporated a couple of elements outside of what I would consider core metalcore. Core metalcore. We had some sludge elements in like 2 places. They weren't held out for very long, but we did drop down to just like some slow tempos. Just kind of emphasize the heaviness of a couple sections. And I almost want to say that the chorus was kind of punky, almost like a pop punk, which is cool because usually metalcore does lighten up for choruses. We usually enter into like a halftime, and a lot of the lower notes get pulled out for some of the higher notes, kind of make it a little brighter. Because usually we also switch from harshes to cleans, so we clean up the guitar and the instrumental work as well. But it was almost even a little bit more than usual, a little bit more into that pop punk area. So that was interesting, hearing that little clash. They definitely have a lot of inspirations, even though they lean towards a fairly generic metalcore sound. I can't really say that the music really caught me off guard too many times. It was kind of by the books, but the 7-minute length did allow them to kind of incorporate a couple of things that are unusual for the genre, like the aforementioned sludge sections. So yeah, I really dig this. I would like to see what else they have, and the 2013 year for this also intrigues me. Oh, they have a 2018 album out. Maybe that's what I'll check out next. Well, let me. They might have a 2018 album out. These comments are definitely in not English, Japanese, I would say. I cheated. There's a .jp in one of the links. It's a pretty good guess that this is Japanese. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to check into these a little bit more and see what's up. Melodic death metal slash metalcore is what they officially call themselves. Yeah, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Like I said, it captures a lot of what I enjoyed in my youth. and just kind of amplifies it a little bit. I'm wondering if there's anything else they can do that's novel, I would say, for the genre, or if they end up, this being one of their more complex songs and everything else is a 3, 4, 5 minute, by the books metalcore stuff. Um, Although that melodic death, I think I started to like melodic death metal, if I'm remembering that one correctly. Maybe what I'm remembering is technical death metal. I don't know. Oh no, mellow death is something we haven't done yet. Mellow death, we've talked about that a few times in the Discord. That is something we have not done yet, I don't think. Technical death metal is what we checked out though. But I like anything with melody in it. So I don't know. Definitely checking out more of these. I feel like I'm talking in circles now, so I'm going to finish this up. You guys hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this one. Definitely some interesting stuff, but also kind of playing it safe in a lot of areas. And I wonder how many people would be turned off by that, or how many people enjoy it because it is predictable. Sometimes in these unknown times, this uncertainty, familiarity is a comfort. So that's probably another reason why I enjoy this. Not only does it take me back to my childhood, but it's just comfortable. Comfort is it's a nice thing sometimes. All right, there's also a description box with some links. Patreon, which you can access the Discord community by joining. There's also blocked videos. Somewhere around there is also a like, subscribe, and bell button. If you would like to hit those buttons, you'll get informed about when I put up new videos. Otherwise, that's fine too. I'm glad you stuck around till the end of this video to listen to me rant. So like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC, as usual, and we'll be doing more special selection stuff throughout the week. Alright, until then, you stay safe out there, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, and keep being awesome. I did that in reverse, and it just threw off on my rhythm. You guys know the drill. I'll see you next time.